You are now watching The Queen Chioma. So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be talking about Instagram model and influencer Ariana Fletcher, also known as the real Kyle's sister, who recently went viral for her comments about domestic violence. Now, YouTube is sensitive now, so I'm going to refer to this as DV throughout the remainder of this video. So Ari was featured on a podcast with Don't Call Me White Girl, who has been having an active and pretty decent podcast. Like, I honestly didn't know that these two knew each other, but the way how the industry is set up, it's kind of like everyone knows everybody. So what turned people off was Ari's comments about how she prefers to be treated by her boyfriends. She described the situation basically saying that she wants her man to forcefully restrict her from leaving if they get into an argument. She even suggested her boyfriend pull out a gun on her during an argument to show how much he cares about not losing her. Take a listen.
No, because he make me feel like, how old is you? Like, grow the f*** up.
Oh, he get you with
yeah,
that.
he do that to me. Then he makes me be like, okay, let me, because I used to pack my shit up, like, I'm leaving, you da.
That's
fake
me.
Booking a flight. Really never booked a flight. Fake booking a flight, like calling my manager, like, yeah, book me a flight home, this, you know, calling my mama, throwing shit, breaking, fighting, and then like, now you got to stop me from leaving. But I was never going nowhere.
Oh, yep, you talk to
like,
her.
pull your gun out and show me, like, leave. I wish you would walk out the door.
Right.
Like,
She gonna shine. She gonna shine.
So you all just heard that malarkey, and I do think she was exaggerating. I don't think she necessarily meant it in a serious manner, but I feel as though when you're doing these podcasts and you know you're the type of person that people don't always take a liking to, you just kind of have to watch what you say. And this trended not only because she said this, but when she started getting dragged for this obviously stupid statement, her response back was very hostile, very dismissive, and very unempathetic to DV victims. She constantly went on about how much she really doesn't care and that nobody cares, and she pretty much dismissed how insensitive her comments were, and in true Ari fashion basically told the internet to mind their business. You can take a look at that here.
I'm so glad that this got all this attention because my girl about to blow up, and that's what it's really all about. Like, nobody cares about, you know, all the negative stuff. Like, stop. Like, let's stay focused on what this is really about. This is about my girl podcast is going up. Like, it's lit. All y'all with the gun, oh, do you want your man to? Nobody cares because, one, you probably don't even have a man. And two, if somebody wants their man to pull out a gun on them, that's what they want. Like, nobody cares. Joking or not. Like, it's none of your business, first of all. That's one. Stop trying to do a thing.
So I really just have one overall main talking point, so let's get right into this video. So my only talking point is, I think Ari is truly a bitter person. I don't think she can handle the heat when she's in the kitchen. In one breath, you're telling the internet to mind your business when you put out all of your business out there. Now, I can agree that the internet will pick and choose what parts of content they want to listen to, feature, highlight, or whatever. It happens to me. I can make a whole video explaining an idea, but someone will take the one sentence that may be too hard or too crazy, and then that becomes the whole entire thesis statement of the video when that's really not the case. So I understand that frustration of the blogs and the media only focusing on the trend-setting aspects of these interviews and the content that these public figures put out or are a part of, but I honestly feel as though each and every time this girl gets called out for anything, we get the same exact response. Most importantly, I do find it crazy that Ari was a victim of DV herself. Now, when her and her child's father, Chicago rapper G Herbo, broke up, nobody really knew the deep parts of it at first. I think people just thought that he cheated and then she left and broke up with him, and they had a bitter and tumultuous post-relationship until they became cordial eventually for the sake of their son. Yet after their breakup, footage came out of the arrest of G Herbo, and guess what he was arrested for? DV and battery towards her. What ended up happening is that G Herbo dragged Ari down the front of her house while beating her, throwing her phone, pulling her hair, and all of this was witnessed by multiple neighbors that were in the same vicinity of this incident. When the cops pulled up, the neighbors were the witnesses that confirmed that he put his hands on her, and you clearly see that Ari is shooken up. She she's crying, her hair is messed up, she looks tattered, she's trying to get her son. And it was in that video that I actually had some empathy for her. She's not my cup of tea at all, but after watching all 40-something minutes of that video, which is still on YouTube, I truly felt bad because the internet painted her to be so toxic and bitter when in reality, I do believe that she was a victim of a very toxic relationship. She's a victim of DV, but I also feel as though her and her ways added to that as well. I believe that she herself would also strike G Herbo. I definitely think she did onto him that he did onto her. But if we're being real, most men are going to be stronger, bigger, and more aggressive than women. So in reality, Ari got beat up and that was the end of their relationship. So to me, I think it's very stupid for her to put this type of response out, especially being that she is a victim herself.
Hamilton's come check you out, okay?
How Mill Road and Woodley Drive.
How'd you get all those?
Because he dragged me. He punched me in my eye. That's why my happened to be black.
Coming in from Marta.
He smacked me all in my face. He spit on me. Anything, the fucking worst shit you could think of, he just did to me.
If she doesn't want to feel bad for other women, she doesn't have to. But when some of your fans, followers, and maybe some of the people who sponsor her have been affected by something as serious as DV, you would think that she could come out and either apologize or at least acknowledge and take accountability for her as being insensitive. Sometimes these celebrities are who they are. They stand on what they say and they can do that. They can be firm in their disrespects and insensitivity, but at least take accountability for how you made people feel. But there are so many silly women who see Ari as someone who can't do anything wrong, and women who still want to be like her, even though you never will, even though she calls her fans as well as her alleged haters broke and all of these different derogatory things. Some people will still kiss her fake ass, so nothing is going to happen. She's going to get away with this disrespect. What I find crazy is that Drea from Basketball Wives lost her Savage X Fenty sponsorship for insensitive comments about DV, but somehow Ari is unscathed and untouched and unaffected by her comments. It goes to show how certain types of people can get away with certain types of things and the value that we place on certain public figures in urban pop culture. I think Ari is just being herself. That part of it is fine. But overall, I wish she would stop making herself so unlikable. Like, it's like, why? You know, she is so blessed to be in a position that she is to make this type of money, have the best of life through the luxuries she's been able to afford now. And it doesn't even seem like she's a happy person. Why does it always have to be so much negativity and toxicity in her life when you really escaped heartbreak, public humiliation, cheating, and DV and been able to maintain relevance way past what you probably should have had? But she still rubs people the wrong way through these comments that she could really just keep to herself. Overall, I thought the situation was really insensitive. And when myself and other commentators make videos or comments that state that so many young women should not be looking up to Ari as a role model, we get dragged and called haters when in reality, this is the mindset that she has. It's not because she wears sexy clothes. It's not because she shakes her butt. It's not because she's deemed as ghetto. None of that stuff is really that bad, but it's the mindset and the influence that these people have that turn me off. And that's why I caution people to stop blindly following famous people just because they're famous and have likes. Like, it's not really going to fulfill you in the long run. Ari's comment was very insensitive and she tried to basically just shut down everything by saying she doesn't care and stop talking, stop complaining. How about you stop? Okay, how about you stop talking and stop pissing people off, because you're already in a position where you really don't even have to make comments like that. Like, I feel like a lot of these Instagram models, they're not really famous people. They're not media trained to understand you can't say certain things and their bag never gets affected, because if we're being real, they're touching a great bag. You know, I'm not gonna hate on that, but their bag is a lot of superficial things that it doesn't matter what they say. It's not like they're sponsored by Nike or Sony or Gucci. Like, they can get away with saying these things because the only people that are going to get upset are the people who honestly keep giving them money anyway. She really should have just said, my bad, y'all, and kept it pushing, but she's too hard-headed and too above everybody to care. This was really low even for her, and hopefully she knows that her comments were whack and learns to know when to not speak on things. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your comment on my commentary down below. Also, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
Yeah, Queen Chioma in this bitch. They say my drip is so much they had to get a couple ponchos. Now I'm getting chips and they nacho. I'm a time for pockets full, I'm -6, no Toronto. I knock you down like dominoes, then dip on y'all like bombing. I'm the 1-1, I'm too much. Trifecta, I'm 3 much. Full play, eat a nigga up like it's free lunch. Toupee, I stay on your head like a weave on. NMP, the whole city gonna know what we on. They do what I say, but my name is not Simon. Fly like an eagle, Jason Peters, I'm the lineman. On fire like the Amazon, but I ain't in my prime yet. On fire like the Amazon, but I ain't in my prime. And now I'm ballin', they phony, I'm not calling. I'm super grown, not robbing. They in my mouth, I'm flossing. I know a bitch who I I heard got that itch. She make niggas sick when they get a whiff. When they get a sniff, I'm like, damn, pray for him. She don't have no hits and her lace from the stiff.
Chioma, can I hold some?
Nah, I can't do that. False claiming bitches, but all I said is truth. Yep. Never heard of you when they asked, I said, who's that? Mission in the motherland and it will push your roof. Y'all hoes be swearing y'all get in the bag, but it must be a joke or a gimmick. Y'all hoes be swearing y'all music is hot, but I'll fry your ass on the skillet. Y'all hoes